10 of the most expensive things Vladimir Putin actually owns. Vladimir Putin, president of the Russian Federation, has amassed quite the fortune in his time as Russia's leader, so it should come as no surprise that he owns some pretty expensive things. Putin's net worth is $200 billion, according to analysis from the Moscow Times. Some of the items Putin has come into ownership of are simple, like land and palaces, while others are rather extravagant, like planes and expensive watches. Here are 10 of the most expensive things Putin actually owns. Number 1. Golden toilet is worth $75,000. For all the billions of dollars in illicit conspicuous consumption for which he stands accused for, the critics have a particular fascination with the now legendary golden toilet. They are somehow certain and claiming that it's worth $75,000. It may not be solid gold, but nothing says decadence like a gold-plated John. Number 2. Each suit is worth $5,000. According to Russia Beyond the Headlines, Vlad the Lad, as the British tabloids call him, prefers Italian-tailored suits that cost over $5,000 each, coincidentally about the same as the average annual Russian wage. He especially favors those from Brioni, who have dressed Europe's elite for over a century. The authoritative business newspaper Barron's writes that the brand still bespeaks money, power and success having won a passionate. Number 3. His watch collection is worth over $1 million. The obscure, but pricey, A. Lange & Son could be worth a $500,000 alone, or over 3 years of his alleged annual salary. One devoted Putin opponent actually examined public photographs of the president and concluded Putin's watch collection was worth $687,000. Other estimates put it at a cool $1 million. He apparently believes in the importance for the successful autocrat to look sharp and to be punctual. He is rarely, if ever, seen without something impressive on his wrist. For the benefit of assembled media, he likes to give away the cheap $15,000 ones to children and workers. Number 4. Putin prefers helicopters to cars. The Russian president is said to prefer helicopters over cars. To that end, he has had an indeterminate number of Russian-made Mi-8s, definitely an upgrade from limousines. Basic cost before adding leather upholstery, audio system, huge TV, mood lighting, and modern appliances comes out to $4 million. Reflecting its VIP cargo, the Mi-8 comes bristling with aggressive countermeasure capabilities. There's a half dozen by one count. Number 5. Putin has 700 cars. One outlandish estimate puts his car collection at 700 vehicles, including vintage Bentleys and an array of supercars from Lamborghinis and Ferraris. His business ride has been an armored Mercedes S-Class limousine priced at $250,000. Among other things, it can go 20 miles at 50 miles per hour, even with the tires shot out. Rumor has it that the government has sunk over $50 million into the development of a Russian-made version for the president. Number 6. Putin was gifted a $35 million yacht. Cars, watches, and suits are just chump change compared to the real money spent on yachts, planes, and palatial real estate. Much of what is suspected comes from a famous 2012 dossier compiled by an especially dedicated political opponent, which identified a collection of 4 yachts, each costing a small fortune to maintain at the government's expense. There is the 57-meter Olympia, worth $35 million, a gift from oligarch Roman Abramovich, better known in the West as the owner of the Chelsea Football Club of the English Premier League. A BBC documentary claims Putin charges the expenses to the state, though it's his own personal property, and there's more where that came from. Number 7. Bigger and better. This baby is worth $100 million. This yacht has 13 cabins that can accommodate 12 guests and 14 crew members, and it's worth $100 million. It apparently has the largest pool ever installed on a yacht. If they said it came with a crew of mermaids, you'd half believe it. How did he pay for it? Easy. All he had to do was save half his annual salary for 1,200 years. Number 8. Putin inherited an art collection worth $2 billion. That's Putin on a tour of the Louvre. You wouldn't guess that he's a lover of art, but he does seem to have an appreciation for expensive things. In one of the most tantalizing mysteries of all, Rumors persist of a heavily guarded apartment building in downtown Moscow of an art collection worth as much as $2 billion that an elderly couple gifted to their president. The elaborate backstory includes talk of a treasure trove of old masters from Rembrandt to Da Vinci that was hidden from the Bolsheviks during the Revolution, and perhaps even stolen from the Nazis in World War II. There are doubts about the legality of the acquisitions and their authenticity. Number 9. How many planes does one president need? There are again multiple allegations concerning Putin's aircraft. Business Insider says he has access to 58 aircraft, but the New York Times says 43, putting to shame the poor little U.S. president, who has to make do with one plane and one helicopter. Total estimated value of the fleet is $1 billion. There is no group photo, so a couple of highlights are worth singling out, like the French-built 19-seat Dassault Falco. Number 10. The golden plane for the golden boy. This has been identified as the Russian version of Air Force One. The Russian-made Ilyushin-96 is said to be the jet bejeweled and gold-plated by Russian artisans for $11 million. It may even have the infamous gold toilet, but there are no photos to confirm it. Not counting the ritzy extras, the price tag is thought to be $500 million, and if you believe the Daily Mail, there are 4 flying around at the same time to disguise which one the president is actually in.